Good afternoon. This is All India Radio and I'm Saira Mujtaba with the Midday News. The headlines. Prime Minister Narendra Modi dedicates to the nation Armoured Systems Complex at Hazira in Gujarat to produce Howitzer artillery guns under Make in India program. Women to get 20% jobs in military police, says Defence Minister Nirmala Sitharaman. External Affairs Minister Sushma Swaraj says terrorism is the most serious challenge towards international peace and security. In Mexico, 21 people killed in a fuel pipeline explosion in central Hidalgo state. And in badminton, Indian challenge ends at Malaysia Masters as Saina Nehwal loses to Carolina Marin of Spain in the semifinal. Prime Minister Narendra Modi today dedicated to the nation L&T Armoured Systems Complex at Hazira in Gujarat. It will produce 100 Howitzer artillery guns christened K9 Vajra under the Make in India program. Prime Minister also laid the foundation stone of Nirali Cancer Hospital in Navsari, which will benefit cancer patients of South Gujarat and neighbouring states. Here is more from our correspondent.
L&T Armoured Systems Complex was set up by the company at its Hazira facility to manufacture howitzer guns. It is around 30 kilometers from Surat. It will supply 100 units of K9 Vajra T 155mm 52 caliber tracked self-propelled howitzer gun systems to the Indian Army. It is the first such facility in the private sector in India. K9 Vajra T is a variant of South Korean K9 Thunder self-propelled howitzer. It has been modified for Indian conditions to meet the requirements of the Army, including operations in the desert. With Yogesh Pandya's report, Serena Williams for AIR News.
Prime Minister is now in Silvassa, the capital of Dadra and Nagar Haveli. He laid the foundation stone of Medical College at Saili. The college will improve three-tier healthcare facilities in Dadra and Nagar Haveli and Daman and Diu and adjoining areas. Prime Minister also launched the M-Arogya app and door-to-door waste collection, segregation and digitally processing of solid waste in Dadra and Nagar Haveli. Prime Minister will also visit Mumbai today, where he will inaugurate the new building for the National Museum of Indian Cinema and address a gathering. Speaking about the museum, Information and Broadcasting Minister Rajyavardhan Rathore said this is the first of its kind in Asia.
इस तरह का म्यूजियम ये केवल भारत में पहली बार नहीं है, पूरे साउथ एशिया में पहली बार है। किसी और देश में फिल्म जगत के ऊपर इस तरह का म्यूजियम नहीं है। किस तरह की तस्वीरें होनी चाहिए, किस तरह से साइलेंट फिल्म एरा से लेकर जहां रंगीन सिनेमा आया और किस तरह से 3D और डिजिटल सिनेमा में गया, वो पूरा इतिहास यहाँ पर है। किस तरह से सबसे पहले कैमरे हैं और उसके बाद एडिटिंग किस तरह से होती है, वो सारी जानकारी यहाँ मिल सकती है।
Our Mumbai correspondent has more details.
The National Museum of Indian Cinema, built at a cost of about 141 crore rupees, has been curated by National Council of Science Museums. The freshly restored heritage building Gulshan Mahal on the film division's premises will display a rare collection of artifacts, vintage equipment, photos, costumes, tapes and much more. The new museum building adjacent to Gulshan building has 4 exhibition halls. First one is about Mahatma Gandhi and his impact on Indian cinema. Second, children's film studio which gives visitors, especially children, an insight into the art of filmmaking. The third hall has been dedicated to showcase the creativity and use of technology by Indian filmmakers over the years, while the fourth one shows the vibrant cinematographic culture across India. Madhuri Pange, AIR News, Mumbai.
The government has decided to induct women for the first time in personnel below officer rank or PBOR role in Corps of Military Police. In a tweet yesterday, Defence Minister Nirmala Sitharaman said the women will be inducted in graded manner to eventually comprise 20% of total Corps of Military Police. She said the decision to induct women in the military police will enhance their representation in the armed forces. Their role would range from probing rape and molestation cases to assisting the army wherever required. Currently, women are allowed in select areas such as medical, legal, educational, signals and engineering wings of the army. The role of the military police includes policing cantonments and army establishments, preventing breach of rules and regulations by soldiers, maintaining movement of soldiers, as well as logistics during peace and war, handling prisoners of war, and extending aid to civil police whenever required. External Affairs Minister Sushma Swaraj today described terrorism as one of the most serious challenges towards international peace and security. In her remarks at the Africa Day celebrations at Vibrant Gujarat Summit in Gandhinagar, Mrs. Swaraj said many of the African countries are victims of terrorism like India. She said,
"Preserving peace and security, countering terrorism and extremism is an important element of our engagement. We are one of the largest contributors to UN peacekeeping missions and have participated in all the peacekeeping missions in Africa, playing an important role in the African continent."
Saying that Africa today figures prominently on the foreign policy radar of India, Mrs. Swaraj said strong India-Africa relations will go a long way in redefining the contours of the international order on more egalitarian lines. On trade, she said in recent years there has been a surge in Indian investment in Africa. India is the fifth largest investor in Africa with cumulative investments of $54 billion. BJP has said today's opposition rally in Kolkata is an anti-Modi exercise. Briefing media in New Delhi, party leader Rajiv Pratap Rudy said BJP will form the next government under Prime Minister Narendra Modi with a huge majority in the general elections. He said,
आज संदर्भित रूप से कलकत्ता में ये रैली है जिसके संदर्भ में आप सब जो दृश्य देख रहे हैं ये विफल मोर्चा है, ये हताशा की स्थिति में ये मोर्चा है और मैं समझता हूं कि फिर से एक बार बड़ी बहुमत के साथ देश में प्रधानमंत्री नरेंद्र मोदी जी के नेतृत्व में विल फॉर्म द नेक्स्ट गवर्नमेंट विद अ फुल मेजॉरिटी.
A Delhi court today extended the interim bail granted to RJD leader Lalu Prasad in two IRCTC scam cases till January 28. Special Judge Arun Bhardwaj also extended the interim bail granted to Prasad's wife Rabri Devi and son Tejasvi Yadav in the CBI case till January 28. The Indian Railway Catering and Tourism Corporation or IRCTC scam cases were filed by the CBI and the Enforcement Directorate. The cases relate to alleged irregularities in granting the operational contract of two IRCTC hotels to a private firm. The court will pronounce order on the regular bail application of Prasad and others on 28th of January. This is All India Radio giving you the news. For quick news updates round the clock, follow us on our Twitter handle at AIR News Alerts. You can also log on to our website newsonair.nic.in. In Mexico, at least 21 people were killed and 71 were injured when a ruptured fuel pipeline exploded in central Hidalgo state. Governor of Hidalgo state, Umar Fayaz, said the pipeline apparently exploded hours after thieves drilled an illegal tap into the pipeline in La Hoylipan, about 105 kilometers north of Mexico City. The tragedy comes as President Lopez Obrador has pressed implementation of his National Fuel Theft Prevention Plan. The government has shut off key pipelines until they can be fully secured and has deployed the army to guard production facilities. The U.S. has confirmed the arrest of a journalist for Iranian television. The Washington District Court said that Marzia Hashmi's testimony is required over an unspecified case, but that she is not accused of a crime. The court added that Hashmi will be released immediately after the completion of her testimony to a grand jury investigating unspecified violations of U.S. criminal law. Hashmi was arrested on Sunday at the St. Louis airport on a visit to see an ailing family member. A UN report has said that fuel is being shipped illegally from Iran to Houthi Shiite rebels in Yemen to finance their war against the government. The report submitted by a UN panel of experts to the Security Council said it found that the fuel was loaded from Iranian ports under false documentation to avoid required UN inspections. It added that the revenue from the sale of this fuel is being used to finance the Houthi war effort. The report paints a grim picture of a deeply fractured country sliding towards humanitarian and economic catastrophe with no sign of victory by either side. The conflict is viewed by international bodies as a proxy war between regional rivals Saudi Arabia and Iran. Back home, a senior railway official has said that many countries including Peru, Indonesia, Singapore, Malaysia have expressed interest in importing the railway's state-of-the-art Train 18. The Train 18, which has run at a maximum speed of 180 km per hour during its trial run, will have its debut journey from Varanasi to Delhi. Member Rolling Stock Railway Board Rajesh Agrawal said the Indian Railways is happy and proud that an indigenously made product is attracting so much interest. He said the rolling stock market worldwide is worth about $200 billion and they want a significant share of it. Sources said the train sets currently available worldwide at the standard of Train 18 cost around 250 crore rupees, while the Indian version manufactured by the Integral Coach Factory Chennai cost around 100 crore rupees. In Jammu and Kashmir, rescue and recovery operations resumed this morning at the avalanche site in Khardungla. After yesterday's day-long rescue operations, the SDRF and GREF teams could recover bodies of one driver and 4 workers buried under the snow. Identification of dead bodies was completed for further proceedings. Specialized equipment from NDMA sought for rescue operations are likely to arrive today. District authorities have also initiated a probe into the incident. In Kashmir, snowfall has disrupted flight operations. A meteorological department official said there was fresh snowfall in the higher reaches as well as the plains. It led to cancellation of flights and delays at the Srinagar airport. The Airports Authority of India said there are chances of the operations normalizing later in the day with some improvement in the weather. The meteorological department has forecast widespread rain and snow over the state with heavy falls at isolated places till Monday. In badminton, Indian campaign in the Malaysia Masters ended today as Saina Nehwal crashed out, losing to Carolina Marin of Spain in the semi-final 16-21, 13-21 at Kuala Lumpur today. The Indian shuttler was dominated by the 3-time world champion throughout the 40-minute contest in Malaysia. Last evening, Kidambi Srikanth crashed out of the men's singles. He lost to 4th-seed Korean Son Van Ho in the quarterfinals. Serena Williams today powered into the 4th round of the Australian Open, defeating Ukrainian Diana Yastremska. Williams won 6-2, 6-1 in 1 hour and 7 minutes. The 37-year-old Williams is chasing a record 8th Melbourne title. She will face either Romanian world number 1 Simona Halep or sister Venus Williams in the 4th round. In men's singles, Novak Djokovic defeated Daniil Shapovalov 6-3, 6-4, 4-6, 6-0 to reach the Australian Open last 16. Djokovic will face 22-year-old Russian Daniil Medvedev in the 4th round. Medvedev, who cruised into the last 16 of a Grand Slam for the first time, beat Belgian David Goffin 6-2, 7-6, 6-3. Meanwhile, Japanese Kei Nishikori was back to his best in a straight sets victory over Joe Souza. Nishikori, taken to 5 sets in his previous 2 rounds, made it much easier for himself this time with a 7-6, 6-1, 6-2 win over the Portuguese player. In Khelo India, Youth Games finals in all categories of football and basketball are being played today. Boxing finals in under 17 and 21 boys categories, remaining finals of table tennis, and bronze medal fights in archery are also scheduled. Afternoon update from our Pune correspondent.
Under 17 girls from Karnataka have won today's first gold medal in football by defeating Punjab in final 4-2. In football, 3 bronze medals are also decided in morning matches. Maharashtra, Manipur and Mizoram bagged 1 each. Today's first gold medal in tennis was won by Prerna Vichare of Maharashtra in under 17 girls final. She defeated Priyanshi Bhandari of Gujarat 6-2, 5-7, 7-5. Nitin Kelkar for AIR News, Pune.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi will share his thoughts with the people in India and abroad in his Mann Ki Baat program of All India Radio on 27th of this month. It will be the 52nd episode of the monthly radio program. In a tweet, Mr. Modi has urged people to share their ideas and suggestions on the Narendra Modi app and MyGov Open Forum. People can also dial the toll-free number 1800-117800 and record their message for the Prime Minister in either Hindi or English. And now, before we end the bulletin, the headlines once again. Prime Minister Narendra Modi dedicates to the nation Armoured Systems Complex at Hazira in Gujarat to produce Howitzer artillery guns under Make in India program. Women to get 20% jobs in military police, says Defence Minister Nirmala Sitharaman. External Affairs Minister Sushma Swaraj says terrorism is the most serious challenge towards international peace and security. In Mexico, 21 people killed in a fuel pipeline explosion in central Hidalgo state. And in badminton, Indian challenge ends at Malaysia Masters as Saina Nehwal loses to Carolina Marin of Spain in the semi-final. And with that, we end the Midday News.